Audiobooks, obviously, audiobooks are very good because audiobooks, the reason why you want to, when you do your book, why you also want to have the audio version of it, is that it's extra money for basically the same work. Because your audiobooks are basically narrated versions of your written books. It will have a different title, but it's essentially you reading that book or somebody else reading it for you or an AI, especially in this day and age that AI sound very much like human beings. You just get a software like a Decrypt or any of those softwares that can translate text to audio, and all you do is put your text in there, you get your audios out. If your book is 20 chapters, you get 20 audio chapters, all in less than 1 day. And once you get that, that's another product by itself. Because when people buy your books, you want to immediately offer them the audio version, regardless of what you are doing, whether you are doing physical business outside like hairstylist, or whether you are doing Forex, or whatever. This is the front end of your making money. If you give your book for free, you are then telling them to buy the audio book. Add the audio book to it for only $47. So your front end can be free. Then the back end is your audio. They get it, or you say your front end for $9. Your audio version will be times 4. That's the general rule. Whatever you are charging for the front end, times 3 or times 4, I prefer times 4, is what you sell the audio version. Because human beings are just funny. They value audiobooks more than the print book, even though it's the same content. So that is why audiobooks are also desirable as products. We are going to talk when we get to the funnel pillar, how to create your funnels. That's pillar number 4. We will then explain how you put it all together, even though sometimes I explain both of them simultaneously, but this is just talking about the product. So let's say you are in the marketing, in personal development, for instance. A good audiobook, for instance, might be something like, how would I call it? Take Tony Robbins, for instance. Tony Robbins has Awaken the Giant audiobook, Awaken the Giant Within audiobook. He has a front-end book, Awaken the Giant. He has the audio version, which, by the way, sold a lot more than the front end in terms of money instead of in terms of quantity. Russell Brunson, Funnel Secrets, was a front-end book, but he had the audio version. Traffic Secrets was his front-end book, but he had the audio version, Traffic Secrets Handbook, as audio that you will see on Audible and all those sites. Why? Because people, it is extra income from you, and you are trying to touch as many people as possible. Some do not like to read print, like my son. My first son hates reading. But give him anything in audio, the man will listen to it over and over and over again. It affected his education when we came to the US. We didn't know that the man does not like to read. We just read that he doesn't like going to school. After a while, when he was in the college, he was in third year of his accounting thing, and he doesn't want to be good. I was crazy until we found out later the boy does not like to read. It's too much work. But he can listen 24/7. That is why they do much better in the US, because nobody diagnosed that for him in Africa. You better read your book or you get it spanked. Yeah, he was scoring A's, but I didn't know the poor boy was miserable because I was forcing him to read. So a lot of people are like that. They don't like to read, but they like to listen. Some people don't like to listen. They like to do reading. I'm one of those guys. I love to read with my own 2 eyes. I'm old school like that. But it's extra money. So you can have, take for instance, an unlikely profession like, say, hairstylist. Because you might be telling yourself, what kind of audiobook will I be doing that? Same way I just explained to you. If you have a front-end book that says Hairstylist Business Success Handbook, you can have the audio version of it. You can have stuff like hair coloring mastery, a narrative guide for stylists to match what you wrote about trendy bridal hairstyles for hairstylists that we talk about. I'm just speaking at random here because we have different niches represented here so that you have a clarity about what to do when it comes to you. Take the parenting niche, for instance. Some of the good niches that you could write a book on, I talked about it in the previous slide, is how to talk to kids, how to talk, what did I say? Parenting 101. a comprehensive guide to nurturing your child, right? You could have an audiobook that follows up on that, same idea, same content, but you just change the title a little bit so that it's not exactly the same thing. It can be how to talk so kids will listen and listen so kids will talk. That's a good title right there for an audiobook. And then you have the print version of it. On and on like that. Every niche, you have the audio. You want to have an audio version of your book. Even if you didn't write a book, you can have an audio book on its own, by the way. Audiobooks can stand on their own without having a print version, but that would be very stupid, in my own opinion. Because if you narrated the audio, you can transcribe, and then the transcription becomes the book for the front end. So you don't want to leave money on the table. Audiobooks and print must go together. Either you write the print first and then do the audio version, or you do the audio first and then the print version after. It doesn't matter in this day of AI. Both of them can get done in less than a week